The first step in producing our European face frameless cabinet is to machine the cabinet parts. And we're going to start on this panel saw right here, which is going to allow us to cut the parts to a nominal size. And when I say nominal size, I mean they're going to be a little larger than what they actually need to be. We will size them down over on the table saw after I get them cut here. So let me tell you just a little bit about this saw. There are many different varieties of vertical panel saws. They range from, this one's probably $1,500 up to around $80,000. So this is on the lower end of the price range. This would be perfect for the small cabinet shop. The $80,000 models are digitally controlled and very precise. Again, remember, we're just using this to nominally cut our pieces of material, so it doesn't have to be that precise. Let me show you some of the specifics of this piece of equipment. Our material is going to sit on a bed, and the bed is made up of rollers that roll along. So it's very easy to move your material once it's on the bed back and forth. We have a portable saw up here that is mounted on two bars that are perpendicular to the bed so that we get a nice 90-degree cut. I just have a little knob here that loosens this and allows me to move it up and down, and I can run this up and down and cut my material. The saw can also be turned so that the blade is running horizontally. The problem there is that you can't move it side to side. You have to move the material through it. So we don't use it very often for that operation. The last part that we need to talk about is the scale, so our measuring scale, because we have to know where to put our piece of material on the saw to make our cuts. As you can see, we have a scale here in inches and we have a scale here in millimeters. And on this particular project, the European cabinet, we're going to be working in millimeters, so we'll be working off of this bottom scale. We have a stop right here that we can move along here and put it on the exact measurement that we want to cut on the saw. So once the stop is set, we just move our material over to the stop and make our cut. Since we're building this cabinet out of melamine and it's a solid material, we don't really need to worry about the direction of grain. But if this was wood and we had grain, which is usually going in the long direction, we wouldn't be able to lay our sides out like this, because then the grain would be going horizontally on the sides. So we'd have to rethink this. But because we're using melamine, we're able to lay it out in the best way to optimize our material. And what I've done here is I've taken a 4x8 sheet of melamine, like we have here, and blown it up on a piece of paper so that you can see how I'm going to cut the cabinet parts out. And this is a very simple cabinet. We just have two sides. We have a bottom, a top, and a shelf. And what I'm trying to do is cut this in such a way that I have a minimum amount of waste. And you can see these diagonal lines here represent the waste material that I'm generating. To help illustrate how we're going to cut our cabinet parts out, I want to draw the cabinet parts right on this sheet of melamine that we're going to be cutting. So the two lines that I've marked out in black are the two cuts that I'm going to make on the vertical panel saw. Further illustrate, I'm going to draw dash lines in for the cuts that I'm going to be making on the table saw. Here's my side, my other side, bottom, top, and a shelf. I've set the stop at 390 millimeters. If you remember, our side depth was 374 millimeters, so I've set it oversized about 16 millimeters. Remember, this is a nominal cut that we're making here. We're cutting it oversized. We're going to resize it down to the actual size on the table saw. Vertical panel saw is a very safe piece of equipment. Most of the cutting action is happening behind our material, but we never want to forget about this blade that's spinning back here. Take a look, there's a guard on it, which helps protect us, but there's a spinning blade there. The main safety tip on the vertical panel saw is to keep your hands out of the way of the blade as it makes its motion through the cut. And of course, you always want to wear your safety glasses and hearing protection. All right, so let's build a cabinet. Before we get started, let's review the panel saw safety guidelines. Make sure your safety glasses are on, earplugs are in place, and fingers are away from the path of the blade. Even though we're cutting this material to a nominal size, you want to handle it with care. Melamine is very brittle and it chips very easily. And also, I might add that it can cut you very easily on the edges, so be careful while you're handling it. Now we're ready to go over to the table saw.